Pakistan Today, 1st of December 2023, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor's impact on enslavement and national security in Pakistan. China has made significant financial investments in Pakistan, the majority of which have been stolen by the military or dishonest politicians, subjecting the local populace to Chinese captivity. The Chinese and Pakistani economies are seeing a game-changer in debt entrapment thanks to the China-Pakistan Corridor, CPEC. Both regarded as a chance for their respective economies, as it has been a vital commerce route throughout their relationship. Pakistan aims explicitly to counter China's efforts to expand its trade perimeter globally and build future energy and commerce channels to quickly expand its economic footprint and China's lack of social welfare, energy access, and economic development. CPEC aids the regionalization of the global economy. It created the foundation for harmony, prosperity, and collaboration. A step toward a better future is CPEC. The concept was eventually implemented due to Chinese Premier Li Keqiang's 2013 visit to Pakistan. The two nations inked a historic deal to create the CPEC on July 5, 2013. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif visited China in the same year and signed 8 agreements. He returned there in 2016 and signed 19 more. Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Pakistan in April 2015 and signed 51 deals totaling $46 billion. Many of which have to do with the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC. China's initial $46 billion CPEC investment in Pakistan has increased to approximately $54 billion. This is more than the total amount of previous FDI. As a result, China has helped Pakistan significantly more recently than the United States. One major obstacle to the success of CPEC has been recognized as security. Some issues are both internal and external. For Pakistan to remain stable and safe, CPEC is essential. The threat to internal and external security makes CPEC's full implementation difficult. Both China and Pakistan struggle with internal security, while terrorism and extremism affect Pakistan more severely. Numerous terrorist organizations are active from Xinjiang to Gwadar, Daesh, the Baluchistan Liberation Front, Tehrik-Taliban Pakistan, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Lashkar-e-Jhangvi, East Turkestan Islamic Movement, ETIM, and the militant branches of many political parties. Several organizations are attempting to stop the CPEC project. Pakistan's political unrest and internal security issues could cause this project to be delayed. Unfortunately, some pursuing their agendas have overstated the security situation in Gwadar. Currently, the nation is battling a separatist insurrection in Baluchistan. To achieve independence, the Baloch Liberation Army has rebelled. Residents of Gwadar port have expressed worries despite the port being hailed as a game-changer for Baluchistan's economic development. They fear they would be outnumbered and unable to benefit from CPEC due to the inflow of Chinese and non-Baloch people into Gwadar. Political figures and security personnel have frequently assured them that CPEC would bring more excellent economic prospects in an attempt to allay their fears. To allay concerns that this development will solely help the affluent, it is imperative to reassure the current residents that they will not be forced to relocate. Political and economic problems have caused interethnic conflict and violence in Balochistan. The province's political and militant elites have expressed dissatisfaction with managing and developing resources. They have opposed government development programs even after gaining independence. Rarely have they kidnapped Chinese laborers and bombed public infrastructure and communication. India has a stake in the collapse of the CPEC. This is supported by China and India competing for security and regional dominance, particularly maritime interests in the Indian Ocean. Gwadar has been more prominent in the region's growing security concerns due to its significance to the CPEC. The situation has grown more unstable because India supported a port in southwest Iran that rivals Gwadar. It is anticipated that CPEC will promote stability and economic growth domestically and globally. Numerous steps have been taken, including bilateral agreements and regional and global collaboration, to guarantee the security of the CPEC. The military trade between China and Pakistan is growing as tensions between the two countries mount, and both countries place a high premium on preventing terrorist attacks on the CPEC. However, the security forces' prompt action in thwarting attacks demonstrates Pakistan's will to confront any terrorist threats. India may be able to avoid passing through Pakistan if it has a direct sea connection via Chabahar to Afghanistan and Central Asia, both landlocked regions. If Chabahar is completed, it will offer a rival to the CPEC route that connects Gwadar for moving commercial goods and energy from the Gulf region to Afghanistan and Central Asia. An Islamist insurrection that was sparked by the Pakistani army and gained traction in the later years under Musharraf has plagued Pakistan for decades. The TTP led the rebellion. It is responsible for attacks against Chinese laborers in Pakistan. Chinese specialists worry about Chinese visitors' safety in Pakistan. Chinese officials are apprehensive about extremists in Xinjiang who might work with Pakistani Islamist rebels. The Pakistani military launched Zarb-e-Azb in 2014 in retaliation for terrorist strikes on Karachi's airport. Separatists in Balochistan still possess some subversive powers, and 2019 has witnessed an increase in incidents there despite a significant decline in terrorism-related violence in 2016. The recent attacks by the BLA in May 2019 on the Pearl Continental in Gwadar and the Balotraji Ajoy Songar on security forces on the Makran coastal route have increased the anxieties of Chinese investors. The security situation inside Pakistan has improved significantly as a result of multiple military operations against terrorist groups. Significant security obstacles must be addressed for the massive development projects covered by CPEC to be completed successfully. The challenging terrain in southern Afghanistan and the possibility of terrorism emerging from Afghanistan remain vital concerns despite the formation of a specialized security unit. In reaction to severe worries about the best approach to secure the CPEC and its staff, the federal government established the Special Security Directorate, an army-led command, to exclusively manage security threats to the CPEC. To defeat the TTP and EDM, the Pakistani government has employed counterinsurgency strategies. However, since those who received training from Pakistan have turned against them, more measures may be required to improve safety. It appears that national security agencies in Pakistan are now more focused on domestic politics than on thwarting terrorist threats. There are other ways to demonstrate commitment besides adding more security guards to a building, road, or construction site. In addition, policymakers must resolve core issues at the policy level before developing a practical implementation plan. Pakistan has come up short in this regard. One excellent example is Pakistan's 20-point National Action Plan, NAP, to combat extremism and terrorism. The NAP's intended objective in Pakistan was the TTP. The Afghan Taliban, who are supposedly Pakistan's allies, have made it possible for the nation to get in touch with the group again because they have established safe havens there. Dedicated political debate to establish a broad consensus on homeland safety that transcended deep divisions and is untainted by shifts in the national political landscape is the mandate of Pakistan's first National Security Policy, NSP, which was only recently established. Pakistan's concerns over its national security are lessened because of the program. Locals in Gwadar port are divided over its safety despite the port's enormous potential to grow Balochistan's economy under Chinese leadership. Balochistan's security personnel and political leaders have frequently assured the public that the province would benefit economically from CPEC. Some are anti-federal and have abducted Chinese laborers in retaliation. The CPEC project's success depends on winning over the people of Balochistan. Instead of being fearful, they must learn to let go and embrace the ease of being. To avoid any unfortunate events, Balochistan should also strengthen its national security. One possible reason for a significant collapse in the CPEC could be India, Pakistan's long-standing geopolitical adversary. The fact that India is funding Chabahar, a route not part of the CPEC, has made the situation more unstable. India would, therefore, do everything in its power to end the CPEC project. Pakistan must send military personnel or national ministries to the region surrounding the CPEC corridor. Pakistan's defense against Indian assault would be guaranteed. The TTP is not only a significant threat to the CPEC project but also a significant impediment. At first, Chinese civilians were quite anxious, but the 2014 operation proved successful, and in 2016, there were significantly fewer terrorist attacks. Before the 2019 attack, Chinese business people were already suspicious about Balochistan. Still, things have changed. Although the Pakistani government has taken some initial action against terrorism, more comprehensive, long-term measures are needed. In reaction to severe worries about the best approach to secure the CPEC and its people, the federal government established the 2019 attack to exclusively manage security threats to the CPEC. It appears that internal politics are now a bigger priority for Pakistani national security agencies than thwarting terrorist threats. It is imperative to build a separate CPEC Security Cell Command Center in Islamabad to enable prompt and efficient response against any threats to CPEC officials, wherever they may be in the nation. Several complex internal and external issues must be handled for CPEC to proceed. Notwithstanding guarantees from the Pakistani government and military services, security-related obstacles still exist. The vast magnitude of the project, the problematic relations between Islamabad and India, the unpredictable nature of Nepal, and the poor relations with Iran may cause practical concerns, rather than security ones, to impede its completion. As the project progresses, the security situation is anticipated to worsen, mainly due to increased envious neighbors and outside interference. The only effective strategy for combating the challenges of extremism and terrorism is an all-encompassing one. It is anticipated that CPEC will promote stability and economic growth domestically and globally. Numerous steps have been taken, including bilateral agreements and regional and global collaboration, to guarantee the security of the CPEC. The military trade between China and Pakistan is growing as tensions between the two countries mount, and both countries place a high premium on preventing terrorist attacks on the CPEC. However, the security forces' prompt response in thwarting attacks indicates that Pakistan lacks the resolve to confront any terrorist threats.